He's so veiny. He's so veiny.
Aloha. He's so veiniers. I don't have a cutesy name for the audience yet, but maybe you guys can come up with one. And if anyone out there is ambitious enough, if you got like a cartoon opening to go with the He's So Veiny song, I'd be down for that. I wouldn't pay you a dime, but I'd be down to look at it and use it. And if this thing ever took off, eventually make money off of probably you. Capitalism. Today we're going to be talking about what? What are we reacting to here? It's a video I have not seen. What is her name? Melanie Beckler. Spiritual energy downloads. What are they? And how can you access them? Well, I don't know if I don't know that I've ever had a spiritual energy download, but I hear this all the time, right? Like I've got friends who say downloads. Not really anymore because they were QAnon people, it turns out. But I used to have friends. Anyway, Melanie Beckler. Let's learn about what a spiritual download is, and I'll let you know if I can relate to it, if I believe it, or if I think not so much.
Hey, Melanie Beckler here. In this video, we're going to look at energy downloads, also sometimes called spiritual downloads. What are they and how can you access them? So first and foremost, the term download is a metaphor, and it's explaining the process of receiving an influx of knowledge, higher light, frequency, awareness, or updates to programs within your operating system in the physical.
Wait, what? Does that sound like a metaphor to you? It sounds like the metaphor would make more literal, factual sense than what it's a metaphor for. Can you tell me what any of those things are? Maybe she can. All right, let's go.
And download is really a powerful metaphor because it operates in a very similar manner to how you would download a program to your computer. So let's look at that for a moment. You have a computer. It has its current operating system level. You could download an update to that operating system so that suddenly the computer is able to operate in a new way. Maybe it runs faster. Maybe it has a sleeker interface. It is upgraded. Alternately, you could download new programs to your computer to access new information, to create new possibilities using the same existing structure.
Okay, let me just ask this. If I decide one day, God forbid, I decide this, but one day to eat right and exercise, which will change the computer, can I say that that thought was a download? Or did I just think it and then I did something and then there was a result? Right? Like, why do we have to pretend like there's all this crap outside of us that's interacting with us? What are we afraid of? You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be light and higher vibrations and this and that and the other yada? All puppeteering and conspiring to do what? To download us and upgrade us in a way that is different from anything that we could think to do for ourselves or for others. God forbid. That's a whole other operating system. Let's see.
So whether it is updates or entirely new programs and possibilities, the same is true with you in the physical. You're able to download higher light, divine consciousness, soul awareness in order to upgrade your operating system of beliefs or to access new programs, new possibilities, new healing abilities, new psychic senses, and new levels of awareness.
Now, I know that you know that this is gobbledygook, so I'm not going to belabor that point. But I want to hone in on the gobbledygook that's before us, that's on our plate here. Because I see these things a lot. I mean, the gobbledygook changes with the times, right? A little bit. So whatever it is that we desire and want to pig out on and have for ourselves and lust after is what the gobbledygook is going to focus on. And so the thing that we wish we had, it seems, because I hear this a lot, is healing abilities. And you see this, these healing workshops, healing retreats, healing this, healing that. Everyone's a healer. Everyone I know is a healer. I live in Hawaii. Trust me, everyone's a healer. But nobody's ever healed, right? Like, who's healed? So is the metaphor actually, Melanie, not the download, but the content of the download? Isn't that the metaphor for what you wish you were, which is healed, which is that you feel injured in some way or sick or, mentally perturbed, and you want to heal, but you don't want to deal with your own issues, so you'd rather be a healer, you'd rather do it for other people, and I guess feel good about yourself that way, and then never have to actually look at yourself. Like, isn't that probably more likely the case? And so on with the psychic abilities and all of this. It's like we want to feel healthy and powerful, and in lieu of doing that ourselves, we're asking for powers from on high to do that for us. Wouldn't it just be easier to go to a shrink?
Downloads can come from a variety of sources. You may download light, frequency, and information from your soul, from your higher divine I am presence, from your team of guides and angels, direct from the infinite, from the awakened human heart grid, from the crystalline grid, and really from a number of different sources. In my perspective, the way a download comes in is through your crown center at the top of your head. It's like a blast or surge of light where you momentarily link in with the stream of infinite divine consciousness to receive in a flood or a flow divine guidance, insight, and realization.
Which is what? You're going to see numerous videos on YouTube of people exactly like this, carbon cutouts of this exact speech, and they never say what those things are, right? Like, they've got the terminology, but they don't define what it is, because there's nothing there. There is no insight that you are going to give me, Melanie. Let's just cue my music.
So vain.
That's right. But come on, you're not. You're just not. So what is it that you feel that you're learning for you? What better person have you become? Or is it just that, you can smile and all this? And again, let's get to the beauty aspect of this, or the physical prettiness of her. I've mentioned this on 2 other episodes, the guy who was talking about Kundalini and the gal who was talking about, I don't know what, this probably. But I maintain this. If she were ugly, no one would be watching this video. It wouldn't probably even show up like in a logarithm, because no one would have watched it to like it to whatever. I mean, that's just a fact. So it's interesting to me that for all of the pseudo depth talk, the reality is, without the shallow presentation that attracts people sexually, no one's going to listen, which is okay, because there is no depth there anyway, at least not so far. But I guess you get what you pay for. But everyone in this is like lying to themselves. It is my sort of point, is like, This is gobbledygook. There's nothing going on here. And the people watching it who are like, yeah, you're so right. Oh my God, I so needed to hear this right now, are, to my mind, an amalgamation of, people who don't want to go to a psychologist for some reason, and people who are just attracted to her, right? Like, what other option is there? Because there is no third box to check off here where, like, some great philosophy or wisdom or enlightenment is going to happen as a result of anything coming out of these lips. All right. It's just enlightenment. Hey guys, downloads. No, nothing else is coming out but those jumble words.
An interesting way to look at energy downloads is that they are packets of information. So back to the computer analogy, it's like you just downloaded an amazing course in a zip file. So it's zipped up, it's packed up, and now it's on your computer. But to access it, to go through it, to understand that information, you need to unzip it. You need to extract it. So the same is true when receiving downloads in the physical. The way that I, as an intuitive, experience and receive downloads.
I love it when people give themselves titles, I, as an intuitive. My favorite are like the rage-filled people who are like, I'm an empath, which is like everyone I know in the New Age. Okay.
Is that they flow in like a stream. They flow in like a burst. They flow in through the crown chakra, in through your mind's eye, your throat, your heart, and integrate in through your ascension column of light, which I've talked about many times on this channel. It's all of your chakra centers united as one pillar, one column of light that grounds all the way down to the crystalline core of Gaia Mother Earth and links all the way up to the light of infinite, the light of the divine, the light of source. You open.
Okay, all of this is garbage, but I think a lot of the garbage in the New Age circles is bastardization of the real, or at least bastardization of Hinduism and Buddhism. But beyond that, there's also the real. Which I think those things often get to. So I think a lot of this, like the downloading of information and all that, I think it's a warped clown mirror version, in a sense, of what I talk about with Kundalini energy, which is that it knows what to do. It moves you around, and it's not a download, and it's not you doing it. It's not you learning anything or being upgraded. It's literally when you're not there, it's there doing it. And when you come to the fore, it recedes, and ne'er the twain shall meet. But also, I have had the experience of what you may classify as a download. I don't know. It seemed like it was a visionary thing. There was, I can't remember what the circumstances were, but like maybe a burst of light or something. I don't know. Definitely I remember feeling like a pressure, and it was like it was as if somebody had beamed documents into my head, like flipping through them fast, like flipping through a book, but documents that were like in Cyrillic or something. They look like Russian characters, which I kind of recognize from the one failed class of Russian I took back in high school. But that put me in mind of like, oh, did some evil entity, like Russia, like the Russian government, not the people, but the government, the military, or our own military, create a human internet, or are they experimenting with like storing documents in an internet of people? Like, is that what that is? Probably not. It's really, I mean it, probably not. Like, it's obviously something that you hear in the New Age, and it's something that you will hear among psychonauts. You could argue that it was a DMT dump in my brain or something, although I don't think that we've ever actually proven that the pineal gland produces DMT. I think that's not a proven thing. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I know it's a popular thing to say, but is it proven? In any event, that's what it reminded me of. Was almost like literally a technology or something. Like I can't imagine what that was for. And it's not like what she's talking about is it sounds like you have some sort of visualization, daydreaming will do. And then you figure it like a dream. You figure out what it is. Well, this is like, no, I need to read that language to even get a sense of what those documents are. But there was no real time to read them. I don't feel as though they downloaded into my unconscious and inform me in any way. But if I become a Manchurian candidate of some sort, why don't we circle back to this video and say I saw it coming? Then I guess I have the power of prophecy, and I can call myself a prophet. Ding!
Centered, present, in the middle, are able to download so much to upgrade your operating system within the physical. So that is, of course, how downloads work for you. They're helping to upgrade your operating system. You're downloading insight to new programs, to new awareness, to new knowledge, to new light, to new abilities.
What are the programs? What are the insights? What is the knowledge? What does that mean? I mean, by your own terms, if I were to say, okay, I'm all in on this, what are we talking about here? We're not talking about anything. Literally talking around the thing that should be the most explicitly stated part, which is like the whole reason you would care and want to do this in the first place, right?
That you can then, through your awareness, through staying centered, present, and observing your reality in your life, access in order to bring your gifts to the surface, to ascend and to blossom into being the embodied divine being present in physical form that you are. So this is the why, but behind why downloads come in.
It sounds like what she wants you to become is like a superhero or a supervillain or something. Like the idea that you download, I don't know what you would call it, information on how to gain superpowers and be your divine self in here and now. This divine, I mean, is that possession? Like the divine self, let's change the terminology. Being one's whole nature may include, incidentally, waking up some of these psychic things that she wants to have or wants you to want to have. But again, it's incidental. It's on, as you're filling out and becoming whole, things pop into place. But there's no divine self that would want those things or not want those things. We sort of talked about this in a previous episode. It's the sense of desire, of wanting to activate a power, wanting enlightenment, wanting knowledge even. Any of those things, the want or the disinterest and the not want, not even on the table. Not an issue, because once you are whole, you're not searching for anything. And you're also, in that search, not discarding anything to search for the something else. People who are deniers of everything are the same as the seekers. The denialists are the same as the seekers. They're just denying to seek in a different way, or to say, look, I found my happiness. I found my tribe. I found whatever it is you found. But they're both blocking out being wholeness through this seeking or through this denial of seeking to say, look, I'm content really, and you're not. Nobody's content here, which is why a lot of these New Agers, most of them that I've met, are full of rage. They don't know it. They've buried it. And they refuse to deal with it. And then it comes up as this general gobbledygook that makes you feel something, right? You feel a heightened sense of, it's in a way, no different than I, as a young writer back in the day, would read books on how to write, on how to use grammar properly, all of that. I would read these books on how to write, and it would just inspire me, or books on publishing, and it would inspire me, and it would make me feel something for like the length of the book. And then I wouldn't feel that, and I'd have to go on to the next book if I wanted to feel so inspired again. That's what this is. It gives you that feeling of being inspired to do something, but just stop doing stuff.
It's from the infinite, from the divine, from your guides, from the Akashic records of your soul. It is a part of your ascension path where you're receiving guidance.
Well, which is it? Are we talking about like oneness divinity thing? Your higher soul, yourself, your Akashic field, whatever that is? Where all the librarians go when they die? Are we talking about spirit guides who seem to not be too good at guiding anything anymore? I mean, what, like all of these things? I mean, if all of these entities are really helping us out, why isn't the world better? The human world. I mean, the animals seem fine, and they don't talk about any of that shit. Just saying.
Knowing frequency, upgrades, activations that serve you in ascending, in progressing on your spiritual path, embodying more of the light of the divine being you authentically are. So we've talked about what spiritual downloads are, how they come in, but I want to touch on what you do once you have them.
Not what they are. We're not going to touch on what they are. They're things for your spiritual journey. They're downloads, downloads. But once you get them, here's what you do. What are they?
A computer program or a course that you download onto your computer in a zip file. With spiritual downloads, there often is a process of unzipping the file, accessing the information through your meditations, through...
She's just repeating herself. And I'm just going to repeat myself. Spiritual journeys are for suckers. Just going to say it. I know you want life to be about learning, and you want it to be about personal growth, and you want it to be about your journey. All these people living together and talking about interconnecting nature, and isn't that awesome? And look at Gaia, web of consciousness, but they all want to be on my journey, right? My personal journey. But we'll just talk about all this other stuff, and we'll steal from the natives here, and we'll pick and choose from the Bibles here, and it's like, none of it's working, folks. You're not better people. This is not a better world. Perhaps it's time to stop journeying and stop learning and stop with a personal evolution just for long enough to contemplate what's going wrong. That's all.
Through portals of light, high energy dates, you may receive downloads of information. You might even feel them come in. Tingling sensations of light, sudden epiphanies or ahas or flashes of inspiration where you see the big picture as to what's possible for you, where you see this big vision about what you are here as a divine being, as a star seed.
Enough. The star seed. Glad we got to that word. You're everything, people. You're the light. You're the star seed. You're the energy. You're the... I just want to see her do this with like a little bit of mustache in the corner and like a giant scar right here. Maybe, I don't know, a mysterious lump on her neck, some sort of fatty tissue or a giant mole or something. And let's see if she gets the same response I'm sure she's getting now from people, from the love and light crowd. No, none of this is anything, unfortunately. And boy, that really pisses me off. That triggers my new age rage because I'm sitting here listening to this for 40 to 60 people who are ever going to watch this. You know what I mean? The least you could do is say what the thing is that you're talking about. Or really instruct people to deal with their mommy and daddy issues. I think that would be a little bit more helpful than downloads from the Akashic spiritual guide, angelic alien starseed people of the Divine One. Galactic Federation of Light.
He's so Vaeni. He's so